all of those things that I went through allowed me to be grown up Asjia today. And I'm so thankful for them, even if they were hard in the moment.
Hey Rebels, I'm Chelsea, and today we're talking to professional volleyball player Asjia O'Neal. Asjia is a stand-up middle blocker who plays for LOVB Austin. Hi Asjia, could you please tell our audience a little bit about yourself?
My name's Asjia O'Neal. I'm 26 years old. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I currently play as a middle blocker on LOVB Austin.
That's so cool. I'm a middle blocker too. So, you grew up in a basketball family playing basketball. How did you first fall in love with volleyball?
Yeah, so I played a lot of sports when I was a kid. I did dance, gymnastics, soccer, I did lacrosse, field hockey, like all the different things. And I played basketball for about one summer. Spent the whole summer working out with my dad. We were super excited. I went to the first day of tryouts, absolutely hated it, and I did not play basketball again. And then I moved to Texas in 7th grade, and two girls came up to me my first day of middle school. I was at a new school, didn't know anybody. They came up to me, told me I should try out for the volleyball team. And I was super, super shy. So I'm really shocked that 12-year-old me decided to just go and try out. But I did, and I immediately fell in love with it. I think especially when you're younger, volleyball is so much fun. It's such a collaborative sport.
Speaking of fun, what's your favorite volleyball cheer?
Ooh, so I think cheers when we were younger were a lot more fun. When we were younger, I loved the ace cheer. It's like, oh, ace. And you like stomp and clap. That one was fun. But then now on my team currently, whenever people get a really good block, we kind of just go like, whoo, whoo. Try to be quiet, but that's my favorite cheer. I love blocks. Blocks get me excited. So that's my favorite.
For us, I think one of my favorites is, I have two actually. When we get a block, we go access, denied, and I love doing that because the access was denied. Like you can't go on our court. That's not happening. And then when we get a kill on the court, we go fireball, and then we go in a circle and we go around and around, and it's so much fun.
That's cute. I like those. We kind of do fireball. I feel like USA volleyball, they'd play that fireball song every time people get a good kill.
That's so cool. At just 13 years old, you had some health issues that led to having to have open heart surgery, which is crazy scary because that's how old I am. How did having health problems impact the way you played sports as a kid and through adulthood?
It definitely was hard playing sports as a kid with heart problems. Like I said before, was a quiet kid. So anytime I didn't feel good or felt weird, I was always scared to tell someone, and I would get embarrassed, and I didn't like to single myself out in that way. But I do think that having all of my heart problems and my heart surgery pushed me to understand how important it is to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself. And as young girls and as we continue to grow older, that's something that you have to learn. And it's why I am the person and the player that I am today.
That's a great message. How is it different when you went through it again as a college athlete?
It was definitely a lot harder as a college athlete, I would say. I was in the middle of my season when they told me that I had to have it, and initially they told me I was going to have to quit the sport. There was a lot of back and forth. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to play volleyball again, but luckily being at UT, my teammates were awesome. They were super, super supportive. They were always there for me, helping me get through the drills and practice and stay positive. And I was really lucky to be in a place where everyone really loved me and cared about me.
It's so great that you pushed through and kept playing volleyball. Besides being an athlete, obviously, you're also an outspoken activist. How do you know when it's time to take action and fight for change?
That's a great question. I wanted someone who didn't really come into my voice until later on, kind of when I got to college, but I realized that being someone who is shy, that I always wanted someone to speak up for me. And so when I see people or groups or whoever it may be that I feel like they don't have a huge or loud voice or a voice that people are paying attention to, I feel like it's then my responsibility to help them. But it was, I think, really exciting and inspiring that so many different athletes on campus came together and were fighting for this change as a group. We wrote this document to then present to the president of our school and said that these buildings and these statues are hurtful and offensive, and we want to change these things, and we want to celebrate our community and how diverse and special it is. And so obviously it's a scary thing to do, and you never know how people are going to respond, but it was really, really special and really cool to know that we were able to get together, create this, and then also make that change on campus. And I'm still not the loudest in the room, but when I feel like people need that and need that support, I'm going to be there to be that activist.
That's such a cool way to unite all the sports together. So not every match or play is going to go your way. So what do you tell yourself in those moments?
Yeah, talking to yourself during matches, especially when things are going wrong, is definitely a skill that's hard to learn and master. But one thing that I found really, really helpful, and I actually learned this in college, is to always try to pivot your mind. So if I'm having a bad hitting day and I'm not hitting well and it's just not connecting, I try to then focus on blocking. And then if blocking isn't going well, then maybe serving. So you always try to shift your mind to another skill set, or at the very least, I always try to think about my energy. You can't control how well you play. You can give all your effort for sure, but some days it's just not there. That's sports. But if you're always being a really good teammate and really energetic, that's something that helps carry you and helps you stay positive even when you are struggling.
I love the idea of controlling what you can control with your mindset. If you could go back in time and talk to little Asjia, what would you tell her?
I would tell little Asjia to just trust the process. I think there were a lot of times where I was super nervous or anxious or just really unsure of what was going to happen next and how volleyball was going to go, how college, how professional. And all of those things that I went through allowed me to be grown-up Asjia today, and I'm so thankful for them. Even if they were hard in the moment, they allowed me to be who I am now.
Wow, that's really powerful. Okay, and for the big money question, Asjia, what makes you a rebel girl?
What makes me a rebel girl is my consistent hard work and effort to be the best person I can be. Volleyball will come and go. One day I won't be playing volleyball anymore, but everything that I put myself into, I want to be the best version of myself so that I can positively impact the people around me.
Thanks so much for coming, and thanks for watching, Rebels. Tune in next time and stay Rebel.